If you've been putting off your fall garden because you think the season is wrapping up, stop right there. Today is late July, and August starts next week. Your window to get a whole second harvest in the ground is closing in a matter of days. Every vegetable has a specific number printed right on the seed packet. It's days to maturity. That number tells you exactly how long it takes to grow a harvestable plant. This diagram shows how the math actually works. You take your average first frost date, let's say mid-October, and you count backward to today. That calculation gives you a remaining window of roughly 70 to 80 days. That 70-day timeline acts as a hard filter. It eliminates slow crops like full-size winter squash. But if a vegetable can mature within that window, you plant it now. Right now, there are exactly 15 specific crops that fit this exact timeline. This list and the math behind it work exactly the same whether you are planting in a large backyard soil bed or a couple of 5-gallon buckets on an apartment balcony. Success this time of year doesn't rely on luck or a green thumb. It is a strict mathematical equation dictated entirely by your zip code. This is our baseline crop. Kale. Plant the seeds a quarter inch deep and 6 inches apart. In containers, go at least 12 inches deep. The 55 to 65 day maturity timeline places it perfectly before the deep freeze. Plus, kale cellular. The solar structure actually sweetens and proves after a light frost hits it. Next up is spinach. Summer heat actually ruins spinach by causing it to bolt and turn bitter. The dropping temperatures of August are the ideal catalyst to get it growing. Here are the metrics for spinach. Sow the seeds half an inch deep and 2 inches apart. It takes 30 to 45 days to mature. The most critical step is keeping the soil continuously wet during that first week of germination. Lettuce is fast. Loose leaf varieties hit maturity in just 30 days, making it perfect for shallow 6-inch containers. However, it is extremely vulnerable to lingering August heat, so you must provide it with strategic afternoon shade to survive early in the month. By planting these cold-loving greens now, you are turning falling temperatures into a distinct tactical advantage rather than a threat to your garden. This diagram shows the physical danger facing carrots in August. Carrots need every single day of that 70-day runway to size up, but late summer heat bakes the topsoil into a thick, dry crust. At a quarter-inch planting depth, tiny carrot seedlings cannot push through that hard layer, which is why daily watering is required to break the surface tension. Beets operate under the same urgency. Sow them half an inch deep. You plant them densely with an initial 3-inch spacing, and once they sprout, you pull the intermediate seedlings to expand that gap to 4 inches. This gives the final roots enough room to grow. If you miss in the early August window, turnips are your ultimate safety net. You plant them half an inch deep with 4 inches of spacing, and they require a rapid 35 days to maturity. Rutabagas, on the other hand, require a much longer timeline. Give them 6 to 8 inches of spacing. This week is your final deadline to get them in the ground, though leaving them past the first frost improves their flavor. Missing the strict timing window for root vegetables doesn't result in a smaller harvest. It results in a complete biological failure to produce a crop at all. Bok choy is a fast wind that thrives in compact spaces. It meets a half-inch depth, 4 inches of spacing, and matures in roughly 30 days inside a shallow 6-inch container. Swiss chard takes a half-inch depth and 6 inches of spacing. This graphic illustrates the cut-and-come-again method. By harvesting only the outer leaves and leaving the core intact, you force the plant to continuously regenerate new growth straight into winter. Arugula has an ultra-fast timeline of just 21 days, requiring very shallow depth and tight spacing. As a bonus, the impending cold weather actively sharpens its spicy flavor profile. Kohlrabi is a fast-maturing stem crop requiring 5-inch spacing and 50 to 60 days to mature. You must maintain consistent soil moisture as the edible stem will turn woody and tough if the plant dries out under stress. This calendar shows the strategy for cilantro. Because it is highly sensitive to heat, you use succession sowing. By planting a new, staggered wave every 2 weeks through September, you ensure continuous harvests, instead of one massive crop that bolts and grows to seed all at once. Maximizing your yield in a small space relies heavily on exploiting the unique biology of these ultra-fast, shallow-rooted varieties to outrun the upcoming frost. Here is the twist to the August planting window. Genuine summer crops can still beat the winter deadline if you select specific fast-maturing varieties. Bush beans require a tight 50-day timeline. Plant them an inch deep with 4
inches of spacing. They have an absolute requirement for deep soil or deep containers to support their root systems. Cucumbers offer a final high-stakes option for the season. Planted an inch deep, they need 50 to 60 days to mature. You must plant them immediately and provide a vertical trellis so they can climb and fruit quickly. For zucchini, the timeline is 50 to 60 days, but it demands massive space to aggressively size up before the frost hits. If you are using containers, limit yourself to exactly 1 plant per 5-gallon bucket. By calculating your exact timeline and selecting rapid maturing varieties, you can bypass standard seasonal boundaries and grow summer staples deep into the fall. This checklist shows the sheer volume of what is still viable to plant right now. Kale, spinach, lettuce, carrots, beets, turnips, rutabagas, bok choy, Swiss chard, arugula, kohlrabi, cilantro, bush beans, cucumber, and zucchini. A dead fall garden is a failure of timing, not a failure of skill. All of these crops are well within reach if you get the seeds in the ground this week. Look up your growing zone today, count back from your frost date, and tell me in the comments exactly what crop you are planting first. Make sure you subscribe, because the window for September planting is opening next. The difference between empty dirt and a full harvest depends entirely on doing the math and taking action this exact weekend.